All right, welcome back to the Awakening Chronicles of the Soul. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe to the channel. And as I always say, self-love is best love. Self-care is always fair. And if you're going to pretty much leave this world someday, one day, you might as well pay yourself, treat yourself. After all, you only get one life, right? Or as they say. And you know, many people are thinking it. Few will say it. So allow me to say it for you. And today I'm going to go ahead and get into today's topic. I had to think about what I was going to say just then. And today's topic is why people are choosing to leave the 9 to 5. And I can only add some of my experiences on why I decided to leave the 9 to 5 to embrace entrepreneurship. And over here, I've been very blessed and very fortunate to now become a business owner for now 9 to 10 years now. And my only regret is I only wish that I would have done this a lot sooner. However, with that being said, in misery is fortune. So I had to go through a particular path like most people do in order to find out what we want versus what we don't want in order to make the change to embrace the present. And there are so many ways where most people are leaving the 9 to 5. And if you really look at today's society, what do you really see? Like, really sit back and really think about what do you see? You see people getting up, eat, go to work, come home, eat, sleep. Get up, eat, go to work, come home, eat, sleep. It's rinse and repeat. And all that does is basically strip away your gifts, your talent, the things that you could be doing for yourself. But instead, this dimension, the people who run the show have convinced you that you need to surrender all of your blood, your sweat, your tears into these corporations. They have convinced you that. They have convinced you that it's better to be a slave than to activate your potential. And you have talent. We all do. Each and every one of us is within. But it's up to us individually to tap in. And how do one tap in? I think it's just a combination of trial and error along with time. Now, I can tell you this forth. You couldn't pay me to go work for somebody. No, You couldn't pay me. And I know many people in the entrepreneurial game, you feel the same way. Now, there may come a situation or a time where you do what you got to do, but in the back of your mind, you're thinking about getting back on the entrepreneurial train. You're thinking about how you can get back working for yourself. Because working for yourself allows you to, I guess, mold and shape your skills, but it also gives you the ability to reconstruct your identity, reconstruct your focus in life and where you want to go. Because what you can do with this freedom, you cannot do it if you're actively working for somebody else in slavery. And here's a couple of things that I've noticed in modern day. You see, the world is divided right now. I mean, we got politics that pretty much keep people on one side or the other. And if you're a job and your boss is team red and your team blue, or if your boss is team blue and your team red, you're going to find right then and there, you're going to have a difference of opinion. So much that if you're below somebody who is pretty much in a higher position, chances are you got to pretty much be very delicate, walk on eggshells. You can't really say too much. You got to be seen and not heard, because after all, this is your livelihood. This is it. This is the difference between, being employed versus being unemployed. So you don't really want to be too loud in certain circumstances. But some things are avoidable and some things are not avoidable, where you got to confront the situation head on. right? And that's what you see. You see a lot of things that are really actively taking place. In some cases where some people can't differentiate between home and work. What's going on at home, they bring it to work. And what's at work, they bring it to home. And all this does is create chaos, unnecessary chaos. But who am I to say what's necessary versus unnecessary? I'm just going by what I see based on speculation. I'm almost out of this drink. I can't stand being without a cold drink. I might have to go back when I pull to the side somewhere and get the Pepsi. But then there's the case of this, right? Where, for example, I'm gonna paint a picture, the interview process. You go one interview that turns into 2 interviews, 3 interviews, 4 interviews, and any rare case, it may be 5 interviews. And your credentials look good, you dressed to success, you did every good thing perfect, you followed up with every single interview for them to tell you at the very end, I'm sorry, but we have already chosen a candidate. And let's face it, the candidate they chosen was already selected after interview number 1 or maybe number 2. So not only that you wasted your time, you wasted your money, and you wasted your effort. Because believe it or not, through all these interviews, the bills are still going to keep coming. First of the month, the rent is always going to be due. Whether people want to see it or not. The rent says, hey, it's time to pay me. I'm just giving you a friendly reminder. And so the people that were chosen before you, well, lo and behold, some of these people were friends of another friend, family members of someone else, which means they already had the advantage, which means this company, this corporation that you applied for, they already had their mind made up before you even hit the door. But, they got to do the little interviews to, make it seem like we're hiring abundance of people when in reality, they have it already set up. It's like the plan that's already been decided, the future that's already been decided, if that makes sense. So then you got that going on. And then you got the constant politicking, going back and forth, the drama, the cliques, which is why, in this case, it's better to make your money and go home. And in the art of customer service, especially where we live at today, that can turn quite dicey because it goes hand in hand with what I was saying about the politics of the world and the division of the world. Somehow, some way, somebody winds up taking their phone out at the most worst time, and it could be the fact that you're making a sandwich. And if you didn't put the meat before the cheese, if you didn't put the cheese before the meat, that right alone could cost you an altercation, can cost you an argument. The back and forth tensions can rise from that. And next thing you know, you can be out of a job for something so simple. Or just because people are so spiteful out here that they will try to get you off your job, get you hemmed up. And they don't understand that this job means everything to you. Because this job means that this one job right here means the difference between you being homeless versus you have some type of stability. So that's the only way that I can bring it out to light. There's also been the factor that here you are showing up each and every day. Show up on time. You don't miss any days. Matter of fact, you have skipped your children's venues, whether that's doctor's appointments, whether that's sports, whether any kind of involvement with your kids. It's like every time you come home, they keep growing. Not only are they growing physically, but they're growing intellectually. To the point where you have someone else that's been raising your kids the entire time. Because this world, these corporations are designed to steal away your time. So they're taking you away from the most important things in your life, which is your kids. That's the bottom line. And then when it comes time for the evaluation and the raises and so forth, That's another story. Oh, buddy. That's another story, because all what you're going to find is nothing but excuses as to why they couldn't give you that $2 raise. Even though you have made them $250,000. You have met and exceeded expectations. For them to go in here and tell you, oh, well, we don't have room in the budget right now. But then you look around, they're expanding. You find out that they're building 2 more other locations, 3 more other locations, 10 more other locations. So all the while they're telling you that they don't got $2 to offer, but yet they spending millions and billions of dollars building other locations. You see how you're getting played. They're actively, what they call in modern day, playing in your face. That's what typically happens. So now you're getting played in your face. Now you're trying to make it make sense. And no one, for the most part, is willing to give you really solid answers. They just keep stringing you along. They keep telling you what you want to hear. It's a form of tickling your ears. And then there's the other case where there might be a promotion that may line up. Same situation. You show up every day, show up on time, willing to give it 110% all day, every day. And then what winds up happening? You think you have this in the bag. After all, you have exceeded expectations. You've shown up. They wind up giving the promotion to someone that does half the work. They give the promotion to somebody that doesn't do the work. So now you got somebody that's making $2 to $3 more than you. And these people are the same people that are trying to tell you how to do the job that you have been doing. They trying to go ahead and skill you on something that you have exceeded with. You see how the dynamics is the way it is, especially in the job market? So then you ask yourself, well, what's the point? What's the point of doing all these things? And a simple point is that eventually, someday, one day, you're going to get tired of being left behind. Your appointment is less than 2 hours. Yeah, I have an appointment for my MRI for my back. And that was something I was willing to go in here and say earlier. So I'm going to see how that goes. But yeah, overall, that's how it usually takes place. You've been running the show while this other person didn't show up at all. Ain't that something? Now your morale's down. Now you feel some type of way. You like, what's the point? So not only you get headaches from customers in the customer service industry, but now you got to deal with bosses. Now you got to deal with being passed up on promotions. On top of that, missing out on valuable time with your kids and so forth. What do you think that's all going to do overall to a person? You're not going to want to do anything anymore. You're not going to want to show up anymore. It's real true talk. Because you're going to be looking at people like they crazy. And one of the things about it is I'm at my destination right now. I got to go get a pair of shoes and all. But I can tell you this for a rep right here. Remember I said I go into places and I put my headphones on? Because the energy around here is somewhat iffy. But I just wanted to leave y'all with this here. No matter how much you give in the political, in the job market, it would never be enough for them. And at some point you got to pick yourself. Some point you got to bet on yourself. You got to choose yourself. Because at the end of the day, they can hire you and fire you at any time. And you will have nothing to show for it but those crumbs that you've been trying to maintain. Remember, they're allowed to eat well while you're going through hell. They have all their yachts, their mansions, private jets. They have everything set up and lined up for them. And what do you have at the very end? There's a lot to be taken account. But you have to be aware in order to see it. You have to be aware in order to see how things are truly going. So you got to ask yourself, is it really worth it trading my time to build for someone else? Or can I just learn to build for myself and pass that wealth on to my children so they don't become a slave to what I'm going through? Because the thing about it is, each and every one of us have a purpose. And the purpose is always to pass the baton to the next generation so they can become a lot more proficient at whatever decision that they want to go. We go through these lessons now. It's the same thing. You learn from your past to find out what you want versus what you don't want. So if we go through our past to learn what we don't want, why will we take what we don't want and then give it to our children? That's just something I just wanted to throw out there. So yeah, let me know how y'all feel in the comment section. As always, see y'all next time.